Let's talk about the man, the myth, the mountain of muscle and charisma, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He wasn't always the highest paid actor in Hollywood, pulling down tens of millions per movie plus a slice of the profits. Like any great story, his financial journey through film has had its own peaks, valleys, and seismic shifts. It's a tale that mirrors his transformation from the most electrifying man in sports entertainment to a global movie phenomenon and savvy businessman. His first real taste of the silver screen wasn't even a starring role. Remember The Mummy Returns back in 2001? Johnson had a brief, mostly CGI-rendered appearance as Matthias, the Scorpion King, near the beginning and end. It was more of a cameo, leveraging his massive WWF, now WWE, popularity. The producers saw potential, big potential. They decided to give the Scorpion King his own origin story. This led to the Scorpion King in 2002. Now, this is where Dwayne Johnson made Hollywood sit up and take notice, not just for his physique, but for his paycheck. For his very first leading role, he reportedly commanded a staggering $5.5 million. At the time, this was a Guinness World Record for the highest salary for a first-time leading actor. Why so much? Pure leverage. The Rock was arguably at the peak of his wrestling fame. His charisma was undeniable. He had a built-in fan base, and the studio was banking on him translating that arena energy into box office gold. Following The Scorpion King, Johnson stepped into The Rundown, 2003, also known as Welcome to the Jungle in some markets. Paired with Sean William Scott, this action comedy aimed to showcase more of Johnson's personality alongside the expected physicality. Reports suggest his salary saw a significant jump, landing somewhere around $12.5 million. Then came Doom, 2005, based on the legendary video game. This felt like a natural fit on paper, sci-fi action horror with Johnson leading a squad of Marines. His salary remained in the established $10 to $15 million range for a lead role. However, the film was a critical and commercial disappointment. It failed to capture the essence of the game for fans and didn't connect with a broader audience. Trying to pivot slightly, Johnson starred in Gridiron Gang, 2006, an inspirational sports drama based on a true story. This was a more dramatic role, showcasing a different side. His salary likely reflected the film's more modest budget and dramatic focus, probably settling back towards the $10 million range or perhaps slightly under. The film received mixed reviews but performed respectably at the box office, showing his versatility but not setting the world on fire financially. Sensing a need to broaden his appeal, Johnson made a calculated shift towards family-friendly fare. The Game Plan, 2007, saw him play a tough quarterback who discovers he has a daughter. This Disney film was a strategic move to capture a wider audience. His salary was likely substantial, in the $10 to $12 million vicinity, but the real win was the film's performance. It was a surprise hit, proving Johnson could be a charming lead in a family comedy. This opened up a new avenue for his career. He followed this with Get Smart, 2008, playing Agent 23 alongside Steve Carell and Anne Hathaway. While a supporting role, it was a high-profile one in a successful comedy. His fee would have been less than a lead, in the $5 to $8 million range, but kept him visible in a hit movie. Tooth Fairy, 2010, continued this trend. Playing a hockey player forced to serve as the Tooth Fairy, Johnson leaned heavily into self-parody and comedy. His paycheck stayed consistent with his recent family film work, around the $10 million mark. While critics weren't kind, the film made money, proving the formula still worked, though some fans of his earlier action work might have felt he was straying too far. Then came the career renaissance, the move that redefined his trajectory and sent his earning potential into the stratosphere. Fast 5, 2011. Joining the established Fast and Furious franchise as the relentless DSS agent Luke Hobbs wasn't just another role. It was like injecting rocket fuel into the series and his own career. He wasn't the top-billed star, so his initial salary was slightly lower than his solo ventures, around $10 million, but the impact was immense. The film was a global behemoth, critically acclaimed and commercially massive. By now, Johnson wasn't just an actor, he was a brand, a guarantee of screen presence, and, increasingly, box office return. Hercules 2014 saw him tackle the mythical hero. His reported salary started to push towards the $20 million mark, with around $12 to $15 million upfront plus potential bonuses. The film did reasonably well internationally. Furious 7, 2015, was released amidst tragic circumstances following Paul Walker's death. Johnson's role was significant, and his compensation likely reflected his established importance to the franchise, remaining in the 8-figure range, $10 million plus, bolstered by the film's astronomical $1.5 billion worldwide gross. That same year, San Andreas arrived. This disaster film was Johnson's solo vehicle, and he reportedly commanded a salary around $11 to $13 million upfront, but likely negotiated significant back-end participation. The era of the $20 million paycheck plus back-end points was truly dawning. Central Intelligence, 2016, pairing him with Kevin Hart, was a huge comedy hit. Johnson reportedly earned around $14 to $15 million up front, but with profit participation, his total take would have been much higher. His voice work as Maui in Disney's animated blockbuster Moana, 2016, netted him a solid paycheck in the single-digit millions, plus the cultural cachet of being in a beloved Disney classic. The Fate of the Furious, F8, 2017, continued the franchise's success. Johnson's base salary was substantial, easily $10 million plus, but reports began surfacing of back-end deals and potential bonuses pushing his total earnings for the film much higher, into the $20 million plus stratosphere when all was said and done. However, this film also became known for the alleged on-set feud between Johnson and Vin Diesel, which perhaps influenced his future participation. He also starred in the Baywatch 2017 movie reboot. While his salary was likely significant, the film underperformed critically and commercially in the US, though it did better overseas. It was a rare recent misstep for his brand. Then came another franchise reinvention, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, 2017. Leading a new cast in the sequel, Johnson's salary was $15 to $20 million base, but crucially, he was also a producer through his $7 Productions company. The film was an unexpected phenomenon, grossing nearly $1 billion worldwide. This meant his back-end points translated into a massive payday, potentially pushing his total earnings for this single film towards $40 to $50 million, or even higher over time. This cemented his status as arguably the biggest movie star on the planet. The first Fast and Furious spin-off, Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw, 2019, centered on Johnson's character and Jason Statham's. For headlining his own film within the universe, Johnson commanded a hefty $20 million upfront salary. The film was a global success, proving the drawing power of the Hobbs character outside the main series, though perhaps highlighting the tensions within the original franchise family. He returned for Jumanji, The Next Level, 2019. Given the colossal success of the first one, his deal was even more lucrative. Reports suggested his upfront salary climbed to around $23.5 million, plus significant back-end points and producer fees. The film was another massive hit, grossing over $800 million worldwide, resulting in another enormous payday for Johnson. In the streaming era, pay structures shifted. For Netflix's Red Notice, 2021, co-starring Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot, Johnson reportedly received a massive upfront paycheck, estimated around $23.5 million, potentially even higher when producer fees were included. Netflix often pays large sums upfront to compensate for the lack of traditional back-end box office participation or limited theatrical runs. Despite mixed reviews, Netflix claimed it was their most watched film ever at the time. Which brings us to Black Adam, 2022. This was Johnson's long-gestating passion project, a chance to introduce a darker, more complex character into the DC Extended Universe. He heavily promoted the film as changing the hierarchy of power. His reported salary was around $22.5 million up front, plus producer fees and likely back-end participation. So, looking back, Dwayne Johnson's journey through movie paychecks is remarkable. He learned to leverage his brand, take calculated risks, and eventually command deals that make him one of the most powerful and well-compensated figures in the entertainment industry. So what do you think about this? Let us know in the comments section below and make sure to like the video. Thanks for watching.